Hello, everybody. We're going to talk about Brazil and its areas of low population density. The aim of this lesson is to identify low population densities on a map of Brazil and to analyze the reasons for such a distribution of people. So, let's start. Let's first take a look at a population map of Brazil. On this distribution map, each dot is 10,000 inhabitants. You can see that most of the population is by the coast. However, if you look at places inland, this area, you see that it's quite sparsely populated. There are not many people living there. This is a topographic map. It shows the relief of the country, the shape of the land, and mountains and rivers. When you look at the places inland, in this area, most of them are on higher ground. Let's see why this area is sparsely populated. As we saw, population density decreases very quickly with distance from the coast. The further away you get from the coast, the less people live. Inland, there are very few natural resources and few minerals and energy supplies. If we look at this map showing the resources in all of Brazil, and we look at the places inland, we'll see there really isn't much resources. There are a few mines, like iron and diamonds, and there are also some cattle ranches. But apart from that, in this area, there are no other resources. This means that there might be a lack of jobs in the area. This area also has a less favorable climate. We have to look at the temperature of this area. The average temperature in the year is around 30 degrees, and between summer and winter it doesn't change much. This area also has a less reliable water supply, around 100 millimeters every year. That means that on average, every 1 year, this area receives around 10 centimeters of rain. That's a bit. If we compare that to Malta, the average temperature is 23 degrees Celsius. In Malta, we get around 600 millimeters of rain every year. Sometimes we get the 100 millimeters just in one winter month in Malta. With a warmer climate and not enough rain, people will find it very hard to live in this area as they won't be able to grow crops due to the heat and the lack of water. Let's look at another area that is quite sparsely populated. In the north of Brazil, there is the Amazon rainforest. And if you look at the population distribution map, you will notice that it is the most sparsely populated area of all of Brazil. If you look at the topographic map, you will realize that in this area there are many rivers, which are the tributaries of the Amazon River, and it is covered in forest. So why don't people live here? As we said, this area is drained by the Amazon River. Places over here have very high birth, death, and infant mortality rates. Let's look at some maps. This first map shows the birth rate in Brazil. You can see that close to the coast, the birth rate is around 10%. However, in the area of the Amazon rainforest, it's almost double the amount. Let's look at this map. Infant mortality is the amount of children who have died before they reach the age of 1. So as you can see, next to the coast, it's actually quite low. However, in the area of the Amazon, infant mortality is very high. That means that around 20% of the children that are born die before the age of 1. If we look at life expectancy, it's also quite short. Looking at another map, someone living in the southeast coast of Brazil is expected to live around 78 years. Someone living in the Amazon rainforest is expected to live around 70 years. That's an 8-year difference in the same country. So why does this happen? This area is in a tropical rainforest. Although it's beautiful, it's covered in trees, so it's very hard to build. It also has a hot, wet, unhealthy and humid climate. Every day, in the afternoon, there are torrential rainfalls. This hot and wet climate is the perfect area for bacteria and diseases. These also help to increase the death rate. Unfortunately, this area lacks government investment and basic services. And transport is very difficult since it's in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Manaus, as you can see over there, is one of the largest cities in Brazil because it's close to the Amazon River and has a very large rubber and tourist industry. However, if you look at Ipixuna, a town that's around 1,300 kilometers away, you would notice that it's surrounded by rainforest. The distance between the city of Manaus and the small village of Ipixuna is similar to the distance between Malta and Switzerland. For someone to get from Manaus to Ipixuna, you need to catch 2 flights and an hour bus ride. During the dry season, barges like this transport fuel and non-perishable foods from Manaus to Ipixuna. Sometimes they can take more than 1 month to arrive. This village is extremely poor and has poor roads and transport. It also has very poor sanitation. Only 3% in this town have adequate sanitation. Most of the water they use in their houses is untreated. This increases the risk of waterborne diseases. Villages like Ipixuna that are in the middle of the rainforest are invisible to the policymakers that are found in Manaus and Brasilia. In villages like this, healthcare is also very poor. They rarely have any permanent doctors, and when a doctor visits the area, it might be for a very short time. These villages in the Amazon rainforest, like this one, hold a total of around 1 million people. The final check. This is a satellite image of Brazil, showing 2 areas. Are these statements listed on the side true about Area A or Area B? Pause the video and allow yourself 2 minutes to work them out. When you're done, press play and check your answers. Okay, the first statement says few natural resources. This is found in Area B. The second statement says a short life expectancy. A short life expectancy is found in Area A, in the Amazon rainforest. The next statement, less favorable climate. This is found in Area B, where it is quite hot. The transport is difficult in Area A, in the Amazon, because villages are a number of days away from each other. The next statement says very wet. Area A, the Amazon, is very wet. Every day it rains. And finally, a poor water supply can be found in Area B. Okay, remember, geography is everywhere.